they ready? A little bit longer.
So as you know, I've been testing out meal kits for quite a while now, and one thing I've observed is that they're all roughly around the same price per serving, give or take a couple of bucks. That is until I tested out EveryPlate, and they somehow managed to be significantly cheaper than the competition. There are a few reasons for that, which we'll go over, but does it make it significantly worse than other meal kits? Let's find out. Hey, how's it going? This is Owen. I am with CNET.com, and in today's video, we're talking about the week that I spent cooking with EveryPlate meal kit delivery service. Now, when I say week, I mean that I got their standard 3-meal delivery. Most meal kits' most popular option is their 3 to 4 meals per week. I have gotten other meal kits with more than 3, but that's pretty standard. Let's start by covering the delivery process and the packaging. I do think the packaging for these meal kits is actually pretty important. One of the things you might think about meal kits is that they're kind of wasteful because you're getting food shipped to you from who knows where. But one of the things about meal kits that does make them a bit more eco-friendly is that you only get the exact amount of food that you need for that specific recipe. So there is pretty much zero food waste involved, assuming you eat all of it. So these meal kit brands try their best to make sure that the stuff they deliver to you is as recyclable and eco-friendly as possible. The way EveryPlate does it is actually by sending you all of the ingredients in a smaller box inside of the big box. All right, so we just got our box from EveryPlate, which I have never actually heard of EveryPlate before. So it's gonna be a new experience for everyone. Let's open her up. Buffalo chicken penne, that sounds really good. Scampi style scallop linguine and harissa roasted chickpea bowl. That all sounds really delicious. Everything in here is just loose. I see, that's kind of new. That'd be kind of a pain to get everything. Oh, okay. They're stacking cardboard boxes. I see. So this is one of the recipes in here. It's not labeled, but I guess I'll figure it out when I look at the recipe list. I do think this is a solid way to just reduce the overall amount of packaging, although it is kind of inconvenient because all the ingredients for every single recipe are just mixed together. So when you actually want to start cooking one, you have to look at the recipe card and then pick out all the ingredients for that recipe. It only adds a couple extra minutes. It's not a big deal, it's just a little inconvenient in comparison to some others. So that minor issue aside, I think EveryPlate does a solid job with the packaging. I don't see any issues there. As far as ordering goes and the available recipes they have weekly, you have 17 different options you can pick from. I think 17 is more than plenty unless you're following some kind of specific diet, then your options might be really limited with EveryPlate. I have seen other meal kit delivery service options like Sunbasket, Blue Apron, and Purple Carrot that have a few more options per week. Their weekly menu does have some nice subcategories which can help you sort through them. They have vegetarian recipes, meals that are ready in 30 minutes or less, ones that are more premium, and ones that are considered customer favorites. So the ordering process is nice and streamlined. I don't think it'll take you long to select all the recipes you want each and every week. The only downside, again, is that they have a bit fewer options available, especially if you follow some kind of specialty diet like vegan, keto, paleo, stuff like that. But as I alluded to earlier, the huge selling point of EveryPlate is just how affordable they have somehow managed to make this service. For their standard 2-serving per meal plan, you're looking at only $5.50 per serving. And in comparison, you're looking at $12 per serving for a service like Blue Apron. So it's really impressive how affordable they managed to make it. And if you're looking at their 4-serving per meal plan, you're looking at only $5 a meal, which, considering how expensive fast food is, that's almost cheaper. One thing to keep in mind is that if you want one of their premium meal options for that week, you will be spending extra. it might not be that big a deal to spend extra for a meal that you're really interested in eating. But if you're trying to keep that price as low as possible, that really cuts down the total number of recipes available. So for me, the pricing structure of EveryPlate is easily its most compelling feature. On the box, they actually say it's America's best value meal kit, and I think that's probably correct. But does that low price mean that the food isn't any good? I'm happy to report that the food is in fact pretty good. Is it the best thing I've ever eaten? No, I think there's other meal kit services I've tried that I would prefer just based on taste, but I was very happy to eat these meals. I'm not a huge fan of seafood, just not something I ever really got into, but it's been a while since I've tried a scallop. I know it's kind of a gourmet ingredient. I always think scallop like Gordon Ramsay, but let's just give it a taste, eh? Actually get a full bite. Okay, well, I can't say that I really like scallops now, but that's not really the recipe's fault. I didn't really select these. Everything else about it I really enjoy. It's nice and lemony, and all the shallot and the garlic really add to the flavor. The pasta is really good with the panko as well. I probably would just sub out the scallops for something else, but overall, pretty great. They even say in the FAQ section on their website that they're not trying to make you cook like a chef. They're just trying to provide you with simple, delicious meals, and I think they nailed it. The buffalo chicken penne that I made was the standout dish. It had all the elements that I'm looking for. It was spicy, but not too spicy. The sauce had a great consistency, and the toasted panko breadcrumbs was a great addition. The harissa spiced chickpea bowls were also delicious. That recipe was very similar to something I would actually make at home for myself without a meal kit. It certainly helped that those two specific recipes seem to be almost aimed directly at my personal tastes. I love anything buffalo flavored, and I really like roasted chickpeas. The scallop pasta dish was probably my least favorite, but that's just really more of a personal preference thing. I'm not a huge fan of seafood. I haven't really tried scallops in a long time, and they're still not my favorite, but everything about the dish I think was solid. It wasn't the dish's fault, it was just mine. I was also easily able to prepare all of these dishes within their estimated time frames that they provide on the recipe card, and the recipe cards I think were very high quality, they were easy to follow, and they had nice photographs of each step. I think having the pictures in each step is a nice thing to have, especially if you're not that comfortable in the kitchen, because you can read a direction and then not be exactly sure what they mean, but seeing the picture tends to clarify things. One thing I should mention in regards to EveryPlate, at least for the recipes that I tested, they seem to require a bit more from your personal pantry. From the other meal kits that I've tested so far, the only thing they really require you to have on hand is salt, pepper, and some kind of cooking oil. But for the 3 recipes that I had with EveryPlate, they required me to have butter that they didn't provide in the delivery. And I took a look at some of their menus online, and some of them require you to have something like ketchup or other condiments. These are things that most people probably have already in their kitchen, but it's just something to keep in mind if you're considering EveryPlate. Maybe look at the recipes online first to see if they're asking you to have something that you don't already have. So that leaves us with the question, who should give EveryPlate a try? Well, I would say if you are interested in the idea of a meal kit delivery service, this is probably the best entry-level one. They have an extremely generous intro offer, which should be linked down below in the description if you want to check it out, that makes something that's already really affordable even more affordable, so you can try out a week's worth of recipes for a very low price point, and then if you actually really like it and you want to keep going, it's not that much more expensive. You can cancel or pause deliveries pretty much anytime you want. You can skip weeks if you need to, if you're going on vacation or something. It's just pretty low commitment. And even though there are a couple small downsides and inconveniences with EveryPlate, like having to sort through all the ingredients for each recipe you want to make, again, it's not a big deal. I just like to complain, I guess. And if you have some kind of specific dietary need, then you might not have enough available options every single week. But it's just so hard to beat that low price point that they offer. But what do you think about EveryPlate? Write us down below in the comment section. If you have any questions, we'll do our absolute best to answer them. And we're doing tons of meal kit testing, so we should have lots of videos for you down below in the description and probably over here if you want to learn more. For CNET Home, this is Owen. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you subscribe to the channel. But that's enough for me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.